So thanks Laquita for donating and helping me get here to Uruguay. And look, the winter garden is starting to prop itself up. I've got stuff growing on everywhere. You can see a few things coming up. Now I love regrowing the beetroots because they're just so easy. You just cut it off, put it in water for a week or something and then put it in dirt. It's just the easiest thing to plant ever. And it just keeps growing back. But for your video, I might as well give you a little bit of a shot down here. I'll do a full video on this. See the garlics coming up there? They're all garlics. It's probably like 30 or something like that in that bucket there. And it's just a little painter's bucket. And they'll grow just fine. And you know, my upcoming videos will talk in depth about all this obviously. But these are all scavenged from the trash. Garbage diving bottles. I didn't buy them all and drink them. I don't drink water out of plastic bottles, but the plastic bottles are super useful for covering your plants in winter, like this chard that I hope's going to make it. And there's another little baby chard, and we're actually finding these in the street. They're just in the street from all the markets and, you know, seeds flying around. And it just makes me once again want to say, imagine if everybody plants and everybody has a garden, then we're going to have just seeds coming up everywhere. Because this is just from people not even trying. And you know, rosemary is obviously another easy quick grow. You just simply tear it off the larger plant in a tearing fashion. You don't even have to do it. You know, yeah, you can obviously respect the plant a bit, but you don't have to. If you really just want a quick way to plant, you throw out seeds, you rip off cuttings, and it takes like 1 minute. Anyway, here is the plant I planted for you, the strawberry. And even in winter it managed to get a strawberry coming up. So that's just a weed I'm leaving in there for now, and I'll just chop and drop him back in. And you can see it's starting to go red there. And we're going to talk about the strawberry a bit, but I wanted to make this a composite video and talk about horseradish mainly and more. So let's get into it. So here we have a quite rare situation. I don't see this all the time. It's not exactly rare because it happens when they get really large, but the beetroot is growing a little baby beetroot off the side here. You can see it's got its own little head, evolving away from the main head there. There's a gap in between. So I'm actually going to cut it down there like that, and I'm going to get 2 beetroots out of this one. And you know, that's not even as good as growing your own onions. You can get double the beetroot back like this, but in your own onions you can get even 3 onions back from every onion and eat some as well. Because you just cut both ends off and then you get 2, and every time it doubles, and then you can also take the middle bit and it can sprout sometimes, and then you can still eat the other half of the middle bit on the onion, so you can actually almost get quadruple sometimes on an onion. And plus that way it does go quadruple after the second time, and then 8, and then 16, then 32, and it just keeps doubling. So yeah, that doesn't happen all the time, but you can see it's got its own little head there on the side of the beetroot. I'm just going to take that part off. Just this little part here, because it's separated there from the main head. Okay, hi guys. Benjamin Kallenberg from www.consciousazine.com. And today I just wanted to show you this. I don't think I've seen this before. Sometimes I say that and then I remember half an hour later when I'm thinking more about it that I've seen it somewhere or heard about it. But I don't think I've seen this. It's called tea roja. And does the TE stand for like tea as in, you know, like tea of any leaf? Or is it a special kind of tea?
Special kind.
Like that tea there, I mean.
Yes, but this one means it's a special one.
Yeah, but the top T, TE, what's that mean?
It's infusion, means in Spanish, tea.
Oh, okay. So apparently the T with the little E with the symbol above it means it's an infusion. So infusion rojo. And there's the company there. Herborosteria de Biotica El Señor. And the compound is Thea Sinensis. That's what's in there at 100 ml. It's a tincture because it was alcoholic, and it did say here somewhere it's 40% alcohol. And it says, I don't know how to pronounce that word, indicaciones, but...
Indicaciones.
Oh, indicaciones, yeah. For the stomach and the immune system is what it's saying there. So that's interesting. We're going to look on the internet more about the Thea Sinensis, or Thea Sinensis. Okay, hello everyone. As you can see, we are on Google, and I just typed in Thea Sinensis, and it's actually come up with Camellia Sinensis, so it looks like it's going to be this one over here. Oh, interesting. So oolong tea, green tea, yellow tea, white tea, and black tea and purr tea are all harvested from one or the other of Camellia Sinensis. So it looks like that oolong and the black tea one, and it's just they're processed differently to attain varying levels of oxidation or antioxidation. Like matcha, M-A-C-H-A, is the most powerful tea in the world, and it's how they cut it early or late, and that makes a difference in the leaves and all this stuff like that. So the way they grow it and process it actually makes it more antioxidant or less. Let's go down to the health effects. These have been used Chinese traditional medicine. What does that open up to? To treat asthma, bronchodilator, angina pectoris, peripheral vascular disease, and coronary artery disease. So it looks to be good for the viscera. It's not saying it helps your big toe, it's not helping your brain like bacopa. It looks to be a herb that focuses its energy, and thus the molecules follow its sort of intelligent energy of where to go in the human body, to the viscera, or where your organs are stored in your body. And it looks particularly to be the upper viscera because it's got to do with the bronchodilator or the bronchitis and all that sort of stuff, the bronchi tube and the heart, so the upper chest really sort of thing, the upper viscera. That's interesting. Does have some oxalates, and it does have caffeine, so you don't want to have too much. It's interesting they had it in a little tincture. Chinese medicine. Let's have a look what this lady says. Henriette. I assume it's a lady. Got a little book there. Nice. And I haven't started writing all my books yet, because I have a feeling once I get going I'll be in a bubble and I'll be writing many books. Lithium 0, phosphorus 0, iron 0, magnesium 0, sodium 0, potassium 0, zinc 0. Riboflavin, B2, B1, 0. So it's got barely any vitamins or minerals there. It's got some protein. Medicinal uses. Plants for a future cannot take any responsibility. Okay, so it's used in China, where it's considered to be one of the 50 fundamental herbs. Camellia sinensis. And modern research has shown that there are many health benefits to drinking tea, like heart disease, and it can protect teeth from decay because of the naturally occurring fluoride. If we want any fluoride, we want it obviously from nature and not in a synthetic form from our toothpaste. There is a difference. The leaves are cardiotonic, diuretic, expectorant, dysentery, diarrhea, hepatitis, gastroenteritis. For internal treatment, that's what it will treat. Indigestion, constipation, dizziness, bruises, insect bites. So my friend on the farm, one farm I worked on a few years ago, he had definitely constipation, and one time he sort of like admitted it to me, and he said, "Oh, I don't shit much," and I was like, "Oh, okay," because he knew I was, like a medicine man, and I could maybe help him. And this is what you do. It's as simple as taking a tea. You don't even have to get some pill to unconstipate you. You just start drinking tea. That's how easy becoming unconstipated can be. And so as soon as you look like a little bit into the health world, you build up a little bit of knowledge, you start to really get a ball rolling, where you know what to do and what not to do, even without looking on the internet sometimes. Without looking further, sometimes you just understand. Once you know that drinking from plastic isn't the best idea and drinking from a glass bottle is a much better idea, well, it really lifts your health a lot, and you start to learn these little things like that. And so I think one of these things that I learnt was that people don't even go and research just the start, and they have that fear of the unknown and not wanting to get started, the procrastination at the start. And so really what I'd say to you is just begin looking on Google. It's so easy. Look how quickly I just found some information on this. Now I know all about it. So there you go. So it's not like the best thing. It's not like a superfood. It's not like goji berries. I'd rather have a goji berry tea. Geez, they taste beautiful. And I put moringa with my goji berry tea, and that'll give you a nutritional hit to the head, to the point you probably shouldn't drive after you drink a good solid one of my teas anyway. I put quite a little bit in the bottom there of the moringa, and it gives you a nutritional head spin. Anyway, so this isn't like that. I'd use it for how they say here, for dysentery, for just keeping your 40 foot, some people have, of intestinal tract inside them, and your guts. For keeping your guts clean, tea is just awesome. It's not like it's a probiotic, but it prepares the grounds for the probiotics to take settlement on good skin. It cleans your skin first, and then you come in with the probiotics and they colonize. And then they colonize and protect your gut wall. So yeah, actually tea is really a good way to just begin in health, and it is the way I really got into my health. I started in my health, I was still eating from vending machines while I was on my tea. And my tea made all the difference, and it really got me to realize the different feelings of foods. That is, drinking 20 different teas in a mix, my shaman mix bag of tea, made me super sensitive because it had things like olive oil, olive leaf, and lemon myrtle. These are two of the strongest things for antifungal found in nature. And so it definitely would have cleared out all the bad fungi inside of my gut over the year or two that I drank it, and was still maybe eating bad food here and there. Then I came in more into the research of probiotics, and then I put probiotics in me more. So something like this tincture of this Thea Sinensis would do the same thing. Thea Sinensis or Camilla Sinensis tea, the tincture I've just showed you, would be excellent for clearing the gut before you put in probiotics to work. When you really start eating your yogurt, when you really get one live culture a day, where it could be cashew cheese with L plantarum culture, or it could be yogurt with one of the Cassii cultures, or whatever, lactobacillus, whatever. You have one live culture a day, and you build up your probiotics. You might have kombucha. Kombucha is my favorite probiotic. So in my opinion, now that I've looked into this a bit, and this tincture, and now I've realized that yes, I spoke to earlier, I have seen this before, Camellia sinensis, and it's basically just common tea. And it's what many people around the world drink this at my time in 2016, whoever's watching this in the future. And it's basically a common tea. So yeah, I spoke to early before when I said I don't think I've seen this before. I don't think I've seen it called Thea Sinensis, but I have seen Camellia Sinensis. So it's the same plant, and I think the tincture is going to be something you should take before you build probiotics, and that's what I think you would use this tincture in particular for. Whereas maybe if you had a dandelion tincture, you might use that dandelion tincture to build the probiotic after the Thea Sinensis. So the way I would do it, if I had synchronistically been given dandelion tincture, Veronica, And Thea Sinensis, synchronistically given both, is the way I would do it. I was just talking to my partner who had actually got the little tincture that we just saw on the video before. So if I had synchronistically or fortunately come across Thea Sinensis tincture and dandelion tincture in like the same month, I would have to suggest that it's some kind of sign and that I'd do something about it. And the way I would use it is I would use the Thea Sinensis first. When you're on the end of the Thea Sinensis, so you're about to finish the little bottle of the Thea Sinensis or Camilla Sinensis tea tincture, then not when you're finished, but before you finish, start to take the dandelion and overlap it. And then you just move into just the dandelion tincture. And then you're going to really have done really well for your gut. That's definitely going to repair the gut wall, because dandelion, for instance, has much more nutrition than this by the looks of the mineral and the assay we just read, which I'm not sure about that assay actually, but it is on pfaf.org. So anyway, so you know, the dandelion has vitamin K and stuff, so it would definitely repair your gut wall more, and so that's why I would do it second. First I would clean the area with this Thea Sinensis, and then I would take the dandelion tincture and go nuts. No, I'd take the dandelion tincture after that, and then maybe you would move to the kombucha drinking, brewing kombucha, and you might move then to, after that, to the yogurts more. And then you're never stopping any of those. If you've still got Thea Sinensis, you can have some now and then. You don't just stop it and say, oh, I've used, that's enough. Like, you can, if you've got more, go ahead and have it. So, and then once you're at that stage, you've used the Thea Sinensis to clean, you've used dandelion root to build back up the gut wall a bit, and then you've literally come in with probiotics who have colonized your gut wall, kombucha and yogurts. Then use all of them. Then mix it up as you need it. At the start of the week, you might on Sunday night eat a roast at your grandma's house, and you can't avoid eating the pig or something or whatever, you know. You can't avoid eating some, not that I do that, definitely pig is the worst meat, and dirty. So, you know, pigs eat their own shit. Anyway. So, say you're on Sunday night roast or something and you don't feel too good the next day because you've just eaten a load of dead flesh, and then you would take to the Camilla Sinensis before the dandelion, is what I'm saying, and then you would go maybe to the yogurt to fully restore it, you know. So you'd use that layering process, and in all of my healing, that's what I try and tell people. You need to strip, and then you need to build.
Until then, it ain't easy being green. Captain Planet. Fuck it.
So I was just looking for a little bit more information, and it seems to be on this website here, newwayherbs.com, and a few chunks of good information here. So it is antibacterial, antiviral, anti-carcinogenic properties, natural antioxidant, has been used in Chinese medicine for centuries, can do stuff with cholesterol as well. But here, the cancer stuff. In order to get the full benefits of catechins in green tea, you might need to take green tea extracts or the tincture, which is an extract with alcohol to drive it into your cells. And that's what the alcohol's there for, to really push it into you. And you really uptake things in the alcohol. And the catechins especially would be uptaken that way really well. So you might need to take green tea extracts, it says. Anyway, the polyphenols in tea, especially green tea, may help play an important role in cancer prevention. it was also found to reduce growth receptors on cancer cells so that cancer cells could not grow. So it actually stops the receptors on the cancer cells so they can't do stuff, because they do stuff and interact with stuff in our body, in the environment, via the receptors, and change and mold and in response to chemicals that stimulate cancer cell production. Doctors tested green tea extracts in prevention of precancerous growths in the colon and rectum. They found that those studied who had prior growth removed at colonoscopy were still free of polyps of cancer 1 year later. In other trials, it was found that green tea extract could arrest growth of cancer cells in people suffering from chronic lymphocytic leukemia. The study showed that green tea extract could slow down or stabilize chronic lymphocytic leukemia at the early stage of the disease. So people often say eating healthy is like a preventative, and moreover, and definitely to add to that, that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And you can really see that with these foods when you read stuff like this. The study showed that green tea extract could slow down or stabilize the lymphocytic leukemia at the early stage of the disease. So maybe not later, once it's really developed. It might not be able to really clear out the whole cancer, but it's definitely going to be preventative. That's obvious, I think, from reading that sort of stuff. Green tea may also help to lower the risk of oral cancer when taken in high doses. The University of Maryland reports that green tea extract has been shown to prevent or slow down the development of breast cancer, bladder cancer, ovarian cancer, pancreatic cancer, and prostate cancer. So it's definitely not just the upper viscera, it's going all the way. Let me just check if this is Thea. Yeah, Camellia sinensis. So that's just green tea. Okay. So remember, it can go into white, black, oolong tea. We're talking about the green tea version of the Camellia sinensis. So there are different versions of the same tea tree, that the same bush that they're growing. There's just different versions. So the green tea looks very anti-cancerous. Okay, improves cholesterol. We're less likely to develop liver disorders if they consumed green tea. So the green tea can help. Hepatitis B and hepatitis C can compromise liver function and in some cases increase liver cancer. So clinical trials show that antioxidant therapy, like green tea high in antioxidants, can effectively help to normalize liver function as well. So there you go. Just a little bit of extra info there on the whole tea tincture thing and why you might want to take a tea tincture. Because remember up here they mentioned only the extract was really effective against the lymphocytic leukemia. And that's why we take the extract, because we're getting the stuff that works in the plant, we're compounding it into a small space, a lot of it, and we're just taking the good stuff. We're leaving the cellulose of the plant that our body doesn't have enzymes to digest, because we're not a cow and so on. We can't digest the plant actual cells, but if we can, like a nutrient blast blender or something, open up the cells and get the nutrients out, or do it by extraction in tincture or cold press or this or that, we can get these compounds and we can concentrate them, and that's the point of the extract, that it just is more powerful. Now, it's not twice as powerful, it's not 5 times or 10 times as powerful. Often you'll get something, an extract, and it'll be 1,000 times, 700 times, 200 times more powerful than eating the actual food. So there's a significant increase in the medicinal effectiveness of whatever compound you're after in whatever food you've just taken a tincture from. So that's why I love tinctures as well. The main reason I love tinctures is I swear that the alcohol running through your body, especially with these herbal extracts and all these amazing compounds in plants, seem to really dampen the parasitical action in my body, wherein every time you eat, it's kind of a parasitical action. There's your bacteria, you're more bacteria than you are cells, and people don't seem to think that they're full of parasites, and no wonder the world is the way it is, because we're acting like parasites, you know. The whole system is based that way, on energy stealing and profiting off others and this and that. So we're definitely turned to parasites here, the human race. We're destroying the parrot and everything. That's what parasitical things do to their host. They destroy it and kill it. That's why they're a parasite and not a symbiont or a symbiosis relationship. So the point of taking these things, in my opinion, the tinctures, is they really decrease my parasitical action. And another way to explain that, if you don't understand what I'm saying, is I feel more at ease, more at peace, less pain, and etc. After all the good stuff, less pain, more at ease. I feel more cleared out, more made of light, etc. And less like chewy, like I've got to eat something or bite on something. Less like that, and I feel more open and clear, and that's what I mean by anti-parasitical action from the tinctures. I really get that feeling. It's awesome.
The traits are still my jam. The power is mine. My burden to bear. My blessing. My curse. And one day there will be no humans. And all creatures will be my friends.
Benjamin Callenberg from www.consciousazine.com, and I'll quickly show you that if I've got a connection here, in case you have not been to the website. And there it is there. Enjoy.